Hello. Today's presentation is brought to you by Penamon Perks. Our slogan is mind your business, because if you're minding your business, then you're doing a very good thing to enhance your financial status, and you're on your way to financial independence. Today's slideshow is about persuasive devices. These are devices that are used in any selling platform in order to help you enhance your product. There are 12 of them, 12 persuasive devices. The first one is bandwagon. Then you have appeal to fear, loaded words, testimonial, name calling, plain folk, snob appeal, euphemisms, misuse of statistics, logical fallacies, card stacking, and glittering generalities. All of these 12 devices you will use in your arsenal to become more effective when selling. Let's talk about the first one, bandwagoning. Everyone else is doing it, so you should too. Here we have an ad with a wagon. Here's another ad, keep calm and carry on. Now if you look at this wagon, you see that it has the red, white, and blue, sort of like a political symbol or colors. So everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. That's what bandwagoning is. I'm sure you've heard of Facebook, and someone told you about it, so you jumped on the wagon because it seemed like a really good thing to do. Here we have another cartoon ad, and someone's bullying the next person, so the other guy's doing it. We're not talking about bullying. What we're talking about is using bandwagon technique to get your message across. The next one, appeal to fear. Playing on the audience's fear, sort of like a blackmail. We have an ad here where she says, my boyfriend gave me AIDS and I was worried about getting pregnant. That's appealing to your fear. Here's another ad with Big Bird in it. Will work for food. Now this is appealing to a much younger audience, and we'll talk about that in some of our other videos. This ad plays on the minds of youth, and what it's saying is Big Bird is hungry, and he might be hungry. So let's watch the show in order to help Big Bird out. Here's another ad. Don't stare too long, you'll miss the train. This works on two levels. This is also appealing to your fear that you might miss the train because nobody wants to miss it. And bandwagoning. If you don't get on board, you might miss that sandwich. Appeal to fear ads. The next one we're talking about is loaded words, because strong words have stirred emotions. All of these words strike up an emotion. Remember, friends, happy, love, celebrate, hey, laughter. Strong words, even negative ones. Can't, hate, stupid, never, always, shut up, I promise. All of these strong words are loaded words. And you got to be careful with words and how you label things, especially if you have an ad and you want to data capture that ad using loaded words. Make sure the words are positive, and make sure that the words that you use describe your product that you're selling accurately. These loaded words can be used in any ad in any forum. because loaded words, like I said, stir up an emotion. Here we have testimonials. Now, I'm sure you've seen a few testimonials before. Someone else did it, so therefore you should do it too. They have a testimony that, it worked for them and they made $1 billion or $75,000 and it did great. Some testimonials, when they advertise them, they use famous figures, sort of like her selling perfume, and him advertising for MasterCard, and her. These are all faces of well-known people that we use. Using these famous people is a source. Now, that's not to say that these people use these products. They may not even use these products, but they definitely are sponsoring them by having their face on the cover. So sometimes they'll use a reputable person or famous person to get their point across that this product works and it's good. Name calling. Be careful with the name calling, just sort of like the loaded words. Be careful because name calling can be very effective, either positive or negative. In these ads, they're used in a negative way. Here you have something that looks like a Scrabble board with some negative words on it. And it would appear that these ads can not only strike up an emotion, but these name calling, when you name call, you labeling something. You're labeling it and giving it an identity. So name calling is another persuasive device that you could use in your arsenal. Plain folks. These are ordinary people, but they may be rich. So some of these faces or anonymous faces or actors you might want to put in your advertising. He looks like an ordinary guy that maybe have struck it rich. Look at her. She's sitting in the dentist chair smiling, and all of these may be average folks and average photos of people that you might use in your ads to describe something. In this case, they're saying they struck it rich by doing something, and when you look at them, you would identify with these people because you would be considered a plain folk. Snob appeal. Now this is on the other end of plain folk. You see her with her shopping bags. Wow, we want to be like her. And then you have Superman. Who doesn't want to be Superman? Got milk, drink milk, you'll be like Superman. And fresh American style. Look at them. Everybody wants to be like them. Fresh American style, they look good, nice clothing, look like they're standing next to a very expensive automobile. It's the type of advertisement that exploits our desire to be above the lower class because nobody wants to be there. Snob appeal. Euphemisms. It's something that gets renamed. Now, we talked about name calling before, but this is something that gets renamed. It's one thing, but it's described as something else. That's no ordinary banana. How about this one? Why did you leave your last job? The company relocated and didn't tell me where. How about this one? Hey, Mom, they called me fat. You're not fat. You're just fluffy. Euphemisms. Something that gets renamed. Misuse of statistics. Now, you've seen ads and you've seen some literature with very high statistics like these here. They're not really saying anything. You're just seeing a graph with with high statistics, with numbers, and you're assuming, well, business must be good because there's a graph in there and it shows that they had X amount of sales. It may or may not be true. It could be the misuse of statistics, numbers and figures and data to get us to believe in things. All of these persuasive devices are a means to gain your trust. Logical fallacies. Understanding a premise and disagree with the conclusion. It sounds logical, so it must be true. Sort of like that thing, well, you build it and they will come. You build your website or you build your store in the corner and they will come. That's fictional. If you don't tell anybody about it, no one's coming. You may get a few hits here and there, but no one's coming unless you get that message out. So they build it and they will come is fictional. It's a logical fallacy. Here's another cartoon ad where one guy is saying to another one, hey, you can't just take that. It's stealing. The guy replies, so what? They steal in baseball all the time. If it's okay for baseball players to steal, logically, it's okay for me to steal too. So the guy says, you have a point. And the guy that was stealing the product says, that was easy. Logical fallacies. Card stacking. Now we all have stacked the deck a time or two. So it's presenting your point of view. Your point of view matters and nothing else. And no one else's matters. Like this ad. Newport tastes fresher. Now, looking at that ad, you would assume that Newport is a fresh tasting cigarette and it tastes a lot fresher than the others, or it might be even implying that the other cigarettes are stale. So, card stacking. Here's another one. Dollar for dollar. No one protects you more from mayhem like them. So you would assume that the other insurance companies will not protect you from mayhem. Only they can. Because their point matters and the other guys doesn't. Card stacking. Stack the deck in your favor. Glittering generalities. The beauty of glittering generalities is it always seems to shine. But we all know that everything that shines is not necessarily a diamond. So it's words that make you feel good. They're vague. They're not specific. They just make you feel good. Let's take this ad. What's beautiful? Judging yourself in miles, not inches. So they're saying that if you run, you'll be beautiful. So if you run a little, you'll be beautiful. Makes you want to get up and start running, doesn't it? Here's some more. This one says, Dad, what is love? He responds, well, it just happens to hydrogen atoms given 15 billion years. Yeah, it's just a side effect of the chemicals in your brain. It's an artifact of evolutionary heritage that helps us survive. Dad, what is logic? That's a good question. It's a very important side effect of a billion years, and he starts to repeat the same thing that he said love was. So not only is he giving him glittering generalities, he's also using logical fallacies. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this presentation of Persuasive Devices, and I hope you come back to Penamon Perks, where you can find all of these neat little selling tips and videos and ebooks and tutorials that can help you better understand advertising, marketing, selling platforms, and several other avenues that you could take to enhance your beauty business. Thank you so much. It's been great.